Hello from Miami, Florida today. So if you guys have attended some of our previous webinars and Ask Me Anything sessions, you've been hosted by my amazing colleague, Jillian Fortin. Jillian is in Texas today, actually officiating her best friend's wedding. So we send lots of love to Jillian today. And she's such a great host that she's hosting a wedding today. So I am here in her place. I am so grateful to be here with you all today. My name is Danielle Teleria. I'm from Miami, Florida, and I'm the manager of engagement and social media at Hello Alice. So I'm very lucky that I get to spend a lot of my time connecting with you, our growing community of small business owners. And if you got a link to this webinar and don't really know too much about Hello Alice, I'm going to tell you a little bit about our free platform for small business owners, Hello Alice. So we are a free digital platform and we help small business owners navigate the wonderland of entrepreneurship. If you've ever wondered the whole Alice thing and the rabbit that you see now on our social channels and site, it is all a reference to Alice in Wonderland. So we do help you navigate the wonderland of entrepreneurship. We get to know our small business owners through AI, and we provide them with different resources, access to capital, mentorship, and community. So thank you all for being here and for being part of our community. And I encourage you to now jump in the chat and introduce yourself. Tell us your name, tell us where you're from. And I am head of social media for Hello Alice. So I'm going to ask you to put your social handles in there too, so we can all connect. We can follow each other. We can keep the conversation going even after today's webinar. And shameless plug, make sure that you're following Hello Alice on all of our social channels. We have them all, and it's a great way to stay up to date, to connect with our partners and see what's going on in the Hello Alice community. And we can even help you connect with other small business owners. So in the chat, make sure to say your name, where you're from, tell us a little bit about your business and your social channels. And also I want to point out that in that chat box, you're going to see a blue rectangle at the bottom that might just say panelists or might just say attendees, and make sure that you click for it to say panelists and attendees in that drop down, so that not just everybody on stage with me today, but all of the other attendees can see everything that you're asking and sharing today. So I hope that most of you here have been participating in our Reach Customers online sprint and been getting tons of valuable information and nuggets of wisdom to help your small business grow. If you haven't, that's okay. We are going to be sharing links here. My colleague Brittany will be sharing some links to this week's guide and to the sprint itself. Today, we are going to be talking about Google Ads. So we know that 49% of shoppers surveyed said that they use Google to discover or find a new item or product. And 59% of shoppers surveyed said they use Google to research a purchase they plan to make in store or online. So we know that understanding how Google works and how to use Google Ads to help your small business is pretty important. So today we're going to go over how to get started with Google Ads. And before our expert gets started, I just want to share that I think the most important thing that small business owners need to know about Google Ads is that it's for you too. It's not just for big corporations with big giant budgets and a whole team to navigate Google Ads. You can do it. It's for small business owners too, to help you grow your small business. And we're here today to help you get started and help you understand how to do that. So before we keep going, I want to introduce the lovely humans I have on stage with me today. So first, I'll pass the mic to my colleague, Brittany, to say hello to you all.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I will be in the background helping facilitate the questions. So as questions come up for you today, please pop them in our Q&A box, and I will chat with you privately and invite you onto stage if you'd like. Otherwise, we can help you answer your question in text. Again, all through the Q&A box. Thank you.
Thank you, Brittany. And now one of the most important things we do here at Hello Alice is we establish relationships with wonderful partners that are in line with our mission to help small business owners. So we are really, really grateful to have partnered with Grow with Google. through our Reach Customers Online Sprint and through these different webinars. So I'm going to ask Betsy to tell us a little bit about herself and about Grow with Google.
Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy days to join us and learn a little bit more about Google Ads specifically. And thanks to the Hello Alice team for being such great hosts and having us here. We're wrapping up 3 weeks, and there's so much goodness. If you go back and watch the other videotapes of the other Ask Me Anythings and the how-to guide, so there's lots of references, and we are going to go back and talk about some of the things we've learned. So if you feel like you're missing that, it's all on the Hello Alice site in our sprint. So a little bit about Grow with Google. Grow with Google is a program within Google that helps ensure that the opportunities created by technology are available to everybody. So we offer training and tools just to help people get the skills they need to get jobs, advance their careers, and grow their businesses. And we've launched this program in 2017, and we've trained more than 5 million Americans, which is just heartwarming and makes me super excited to get up every day because of such an important mission. And it's really about digital skills and how to use Google products, Google software. So we have a lot of network partners. We're super appreciative of the resource and the warmth and the professionalism that Hello Alice has provided. So it's a great place to learn. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Danielle.
Thank you, Betsy. And now I'd like to introduce our expert for the day. Maria Elena Duron is a speaker for the Grow with Google Partner Program. She helps businesses profitably harness their personal brand, content, and referral marketing. Her wide range of clients include hotels, restaurants, inventors, authors, web series creators. And we hear that she also loves Comic-Con and is a major Disney fan. So Maria Elena, if you could please share a little bit about yourself and what we'll be learning today.
Hello, everyone. I'm excited to be here. I'm Maria Elena Duron, and I am in Midland, Texas, so the base of the Panhandle. Some of us, as I was sharing earlier, either know us from Jessica and the Well or Friday Night Lights. So that's where I'm based at. And I actually am a mom of 3 boys, and I just love being able to help and assist small businesses. I've been involved in small business for a long, long time in international e-commerce, actually for the last 12 years. And I'm an Air Force brat. So I have lived all over his home, and I'm excited that I've been able to call Texas my home for quite some time now. And today we're going to be talking about Google Ads. We'll talk about the basics of Google Ads, how you can make sure that it's profitable for you, and that you're putting together a good outline and checklist for yourself when you are doing those ads.
Thank you so much, Maria Elena. So before we get started with the presentation, I want to get you guys to start asking your questions for our expert and for our panelists here today. So please use the Q&A to present your questions. We will be also checking the chat, but if you want to really make sure that your question gets answered by our expert today, please include it in the Q&A. And remember, this is an Ask Me Anything. So as long as it's on topic and it's about getting started with Google Ads, ask anything, ask whatever you've been thinking about. Don't be shy. Our expert is here to help, and we're all here to help. So you can get started and ask your questions. And Maria Elena will get started with the presentation. And once she's completed, we'll get started with answering those questions and bringing some of you on stage to present to all of us. So with that, Maria Elena, take it away.
All right, I am sharing my screen now. Hopefully everybody sees that. If you could just get the comfort. Okay, perfect. Thank you to everybody. All right, let's go ahead and jump in because we've got a lot to cover. And I do want to make sure that there's plenty of time for questions because I know there are lots of questions around Google Ads. So today, as you see, we're talking about learning the basics. And if you have any needs at all, Google-wise, you could take a good look here at this Grow with Google site because that is the hub of everything. And you might find even additional information that you'd like to learn more about, and definitely reach back to Hello Alice and to the community. You'll also, if you're tweeting or posting anything, the hashtag today is Grow with Google and also Hello Alice. We want to make sure that people know what you're doing, that you're leveling up your skills. It also lets the Google team know as well that this is something that resonates with you, and I love them knowing and having that feedback. Today, we're going to be talking about how you can advertise on Google, how you can use it to grow your business, because I've seen a lot of the questions that you've been asking in the community, in the Collaborate area, and it's been around that visibility. So even though it may not be specifically Google Ads, you're looking for a way to be visible and valid and valuable to your customers. Because you're looking for that, one of the ways to do that is to be able to use ads. And we'll dive deeper on that in the next few minutes. Also, how you can improve your ads. Because yes, it's great to put ads out there, but we want to make sure that they're optimized, that they're doing everything that they can to grow that business, right? We are all small business owners, and I come from a small business background, so I do understand about bootstrapping. I'm a fan of free or small fee. And I'm definitely one who likes to work smarter, not harder, because I know you're butcher, baker, and candlestick maker in your business. And it is very hard to do that, as well as be chief marketer, chief director of cleanup, of delivery, and then now chief of advertising. So we'll dive in deeper and touch the high points of how you can improve your ads. And then of course, how you can measure success. And this is really key, because you're going to hear me say this mantra, even though it's a quick presentation, but it is my favorite mantra. And that is, if you're not measuring, you're not marketing. $1 or 1 minute spent that is not lifting the bottom line or making your goals inevitable is $1 or 1 minute spent too much. So that measuring is key. And you will see in Google Ads that it's very important to measure, test, measure, and test. There is no one size fits all. And it's important for you, as personal as your business is and unique, you do need to do the same and have that same kind of touch with your ads, and measuring helps you do that. And then of course, as always, I like to be able to finish up with a recap to kind of give you your practical tips that you can right away apply, and then also some resources. So let's go ahead and dive in and talk about advertising on Google, because we know people are utilizing Google. It is the #1 search engine in the world. And as you heard even Petia talk about the last week, that YouTube is the #2 search engine. I know a lot of people think that it's a network, but it's a search engine. So as you look at this, advertising across those platforms means that you have the ability to get to a lot more eyeballs than you may be able to in any other platform. Yes, there are lots of platforms out there, and I'm a huge fan of all of them, but I also know not everybody's on every single one. And it's hard for us in our busy day to be able to be everywhere as well as still take care of our customer. So today we're going to be talking about how you can use something that is catching a lot of eyeballs and visibility, how it is that you're looking at what you want to promote when somebody is looking for you, your product or your service. We'll also take a look at how they're actually searching, because Google Ads then takes a look at what they're looking for and serves up the ads that are most relevant or that match the demographics or psychographics of the person that's searching, and then how those ads actually appear, how you pay for the ads, and then how you can measure those ads. Now, 3 questions I'd like to always start with whenever we're talking about even organic search, but when we're looking at ads, is number 1, when somebody knows your name and they know that you have a product or service that can serve them, how are they searching for you? So think of that for a moment, because that's an important question for all of us as professionals in our own industry, our own business. How are people looking for us? We need to know that. And if you don't know that, reach out to people, your best customers, or people who could potentially be your best customers, and find out from them. How is it that you found me? What were you actually looking for? The second question is, if they don't know your name, but they know that there's a product or service that can serve them, how are they searching for you? You know, some of them may do shout outs on social, some are looking, some may look at how-to videos on YouTube. But it's important for you to understand that and the information that they need on their decision journey. And then the third question is, if they don't know your name and they have no idea that there's a product or service that can serve them, how are they searching for you? That's really the key in making sure that your ads are now relevant, and what even all of your posts that you're doing, whether you're doing a social post or a YouTube video or a blog post or updating your website, is matching and being relevant to what somebody's searching for, which is an important part of being able to show up and be visible. So some of the formats this can take are, of course, text ads. I think we've all seen that when we're searching. You'll see that at the very top under the Google Shopping ads. You'll usually see a text ad right underneath, and it's denoted with a little green box that says ads. You'll see image ads show up too. You'll see shopping ads right here at the very top. And then of course the dynamic search ads, the call only ads where you are trying to get somebody to pick up the phone and call you, as well as the video ads that we see sometimes on YouTube. And how you pay for those ads is you actually pay when somebody clicks. That's why it's called PPC, pay per click, or CPC, cost per call. So if they're calling or they're clicking, or cost per click, we use it interchangeably. But you'll see you pay every time somebody clicks. So if you're used to doing some ads back before with traditional media, sometimes you're paying for impressions. And when you're working in Google Ads, specifically in Google search, you're going to be paying by click. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. Now, of course, to access all of this, you do have to have a Google account. The good news is your personal Gmail account is a Google account. All you need to do is log in and you're there. You're going to go right up there at the very corner. You see that animation where you sign in, and then you'll go up to the keypad, the app keypad, or as we trainers lovingly call it, the app waffle, but go up there and click on there. And that's where all of the different tools that you have available to you through Google are available through your free account. You can do that if you don't have a Google account. Of course, you'll go here to sign up. It does not convert your email to Gmail. You'll just use your email address and create a password. And just like any other password protected site online, that's how you're going to get in. So once you go here to g.co/ads, or as I said, if you go up to the keypad with all of the Google apps there, you can click Start Now, and this is how you'll find Google Ads. Now, once you're in there, you're going to go ahead and fill out information to be able to show who you are. It will already glean information if you have information there through your business profile on Google Search and Maps. And now you're going to create a campaign. So you're really going to select a goal. And I really want to slow down for a moment to focus on you creating a goal, because creating a goal is the most important part. I tell business people all the time, especially small business owners, it is the not sexy part of marketing. It is something that you have to do as far as setting the goal, but it is the foundation that you need for everything that you're doing. Remember what I told you at the beginning. If you're not measuring, you're not marketing. How can you measure if you don't know what the goal is? If you know what the goal is, then you can tweak. In fact, it's an interesting factoid. This Saturday is going to be the halfway point for the year. So if you're basing your goals on an annual basis, Saturday's the halfway point tomorrow. And if you're not halfway to your goal, then how are you going to measure and make the adjustments for that? Again, you want to enter your business name and the website URL. The key here is to take them where you're told them you're going to take them. So if you're advertising your yoga mats, make sure you take them to the page with your yoga mats. I know I've sat across from so many. I've been that small business owner who's just so excited. You get eyeballs looking your way, and now here you want to show them everything. Let's take them to the homepage. But if you think about your homepage, how busy it is and how much activity is there, the number one complaint people have about homepages is that there's too much stuff. It's like listening to a 14-year-old right when they get in the door. It's just all over the place. It's hard to be able to focus. So it's very important for you to take them where you told them you're going to take them. Not only does it answer their question of what they're looking for, it builds credibility that you're somebody who says you're going to do or you're doing what you said you're going to do. Now you can write the text ad. You can add the keyword themes, which is really nice to do. This is actually going through a smart campaign where a lot of this work is done for you. So I do like that it presents the theme. And this is important if you're just starting in ads, because you do want to lean into some of the background and some of the information that Google actually has across many, many businesses, especially in your industry when you're just starting out. Then now you can set your location. Where would you like that ad to show up? What is your budget? And now launch. So you have a chance once you launch now to go back and measure it, because again, this is not a set it and forget it thing. You need to be able to go through and review your performance. You want to look and see if those themes are performing for you. Are their keywords performing better? Or maybe perhaps you need to take a look at adjusting those keywords or removing it. Maybe you're getting some clicks for keywords that really don't resonate. That's not your best customer who will convert on your site. And even though I'm using the word conversion, when I use it, I mean that they do something that you deem as successful on your site. It could be, again, going back to those goals. They download a PDF, leave their email address, fill out your contact form, watch a video, or they actually purchase from you. Now you can also edit additional ads and write those ads that really are resonating with the ads that are performing well. And you can control again where they appear. picking those platforms or the ones that are performing well and putting more spend behind them, as opposed to just always going across the board. That's why we want to test it. So here's some important key things. First of all, you only have so much space. A character, if you're not familiar with that, a character is a letter, a space, a punctuation mark. So you only have 30 characters in the 3 headlines. That's why it's so important for you to know how people search for you and what they're looking for when they say, hey, Google, hey, Alexa, because they're not just typing in their keywords anymore or their phrases, they're speaking their voice search. And then also you only have 90 characters in your description line. So you want to make sure you're taking it home and you have a good call to action, because again, it's important. We're busy people, and sometimes we get distracted by all the different messages that we receive. We need to tell them what we want them to do next. And then I already talked about this a moment ago, that URL is key, where you take them to your site. So for example, in this case, when we look at a best ad, a great ad is going to be specific to that searcher's inquiry, as opposed to just going out for spices. If you were the spice specialty shop, you wanted to say specialty spices, because you might be spending a lot of money when people click on spices, and you're really not just about your average garlic salt, you are more some of the specialty spices. And then you can also include those keywords in that text, so you are matching. And then here, as I said, make sure you've got a good call to action. Now, what's nice about smart campaigns, as I said, that is some of the artificial intelligence, that AI working for you, taking a look across all of the industries, specifically your industries, and hundreds and thousands of businesses, and using that expertise to now help and give some suggestions to you. You can keep key phrases, or you can turn them off if necessary. As we look into those ads deeper, you will have that opportunity. What's nice about a smart ad is that it actually picks out the extension that works best for you. So if the very beginning you said your goal needs to be that they're going to be making a phone call to you, that's how you measure success, then you want to use your call extensions, because that's what you're measuring, who called into your place. Then it could be site link extensions. Maybe you want to show them, not only do you have specialty spices, but you also have essential oils, or maybe you have cooking spices or herbal remedies. Call out extensions, again, are different aspects that you want to showcase too. Maybe you have sunglasses and you want to show now you have Polaroid sunglasses, or it could be location based, where you do want to show you serve the Austin area or the Houston area. And then how we measure that success. Remember, if you're not measuring, you're not marketing. We can look at impressions to see how many eyeballs are actually getting a look at our ads. We can see who actually clicks, who took action there, and then who converted. Again, a conversion is what you consider success when they get to that point to do something on your site. So as we look at our smart campaign reports and we're measuring that marketing, we want to look at our impressions. We want to look at our clicks, and then our calls, going back to our goal. Is this getting us where we need to go? What is it that we need to do and to adjust to make sure that our goals are inevitable and we're lifting that bottom line? So to recap, make sure you first of all sign into that Google account, and then go to g.co/ads. You'll go here and then you'll click start now, and it will start walking you through the smart campaign. What I love about smart campaigns, it is the ad libs, I say, of ads that you get to, or the mad libs. You fill in the blank, and it helps walk you through and really gives you some good insight as you put forth your first ad. And now you can go back and measure. And just like all of us have talked about here, there are so many other tools you can get to at the Grow with Google site. You are welcome to go here, whether you're a job seeker, you're a local business, you want to be able to hone up your skills. You might see a lot of information there that you may not be aware of. And I encourage you to reach back to Hello Alice, look for those resources, and to be able to let them know what you would like them to bring to the table to help you with. And there is everything in a nutshell about ads, but I'm sure we have lots of questions. So I'm going to be quiet now and listen to you and be helpful to you with your questions.
That was amazing, Maria Elena. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. And yes, we have quite a few questions coming in, and I'm going to see if Chris Harrison will accept our invite to come on stage with us. Okay, so it looks like he doesn't want to come on stage with us, but I'm going to read his question out loud because I thought that it was great. He asked what the are the Google ads associated with keywords? If so, what strategy is best for determining finding your keywords, and what are the associated costs?
So yes, actually it does have everything to do with keywords. And what you want to do is, first of all, talk to customers too, talk to your best customers, find out how they search for you, answer those 3 questions, Chris, and then also look at Google Trends. So you heard Patia talk about that last week. You go to g.co, so that's g.co/trends, TRENDS. If you didn't see the second one, please make sure you look back into the Hello Alice newsletters and look at the second one where we went through really how to reach people and how to search and how to utilize Google Trends. But there you can start looking for how people are searching and what they're searching for now, either in your community, if you're geographic based and you want to focus that way, or you can look by your industry and see specifically what people are talking about. And that can help you decide exactly what works for ads. Now, as you go and actually play into g.co/ads, so that's how you get to your Google Ads account. As you look in there, there's something called Keyword Planner. You can take a look at that too, to get a good idea of the kind of volume of search that you have. But I like to tell people to start simple. So those are 2 tools that you can use right away that are 100% free. But start simple, utilizing a smart campaign, and just walk through it. You don't have to put any spend towards it yet. Just walk through it, Chris, and see what, when you put in your industry, what are some of the keyword themes that already come up? Because we have the benefit of being able to go back to what other people have used or what's been successful in your industry. And now you can decide if that works well for you. So those are 3 ways to be able to look at keywords and to be able to then make a decision. From there, then when you look at costs, that will really be determined on, how many people that you want to reach. You'll take a look at, see how the keywords are performing. And as I said earlier, you've got to measure your marketing. So you're going to adjust that to how those measurements come out. I hope that helps, Chris, but those 3 tools are going to be really your foundation as you look to keywords.
Thank you, Maria Elena. So our next question is from, am I pronouncing this correctly? Rochelle, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself, your business, and ask Maria Elena your question? You are muted, Rochelle. Let's give her a moment to see if she can connect with us.
Hi, sorry about that.
No worries. Welcome. Tell us where you're from, a little bit about your business, and go ahead and ask your question.
I'm from New York, and I have a business helping people with accent reduction and speech improvement. And we've been in business for 10 years, and I did use Google Ads for 4 years at the beginning. But after a while, we got such good organic results that I stopped. And I do remember one of the great benefits of using Google Ads was I was able to really define which keywords were getting the most traction. And I just don't remember how that is done. So it's probably a pretty basic thing, but I remember, that the only way I was able to really, ascertain that at the very beginning was by using Google Ads. And then from there, I started to, base my website around those results, and then my organic results improved. So can you please just give us some insight on how to do that?
Sure, Rochelle, when you're in Google Ads, so you'll go to your g.co/ads, and that left-hand side is where you navigate everything. So you'll see all of the controls to navigate. Most Google tools are on the left-hand side. When you do that, you're going to look for the keyword planner is what you're looking at. So you'll go to the keyword planner, and within the keyword planner, then it will let you know, first of all, how many people are searching for certain keywords. But then if you do any ads, it'll show you whether or not you're reaching everybody who is actually using those keywords to search. So for example, a lot of people don't look at that. So they think if they just spend more money that they're going to get more visibility. But sometimes especially when you're hit with in your ad spend that you haven't used all your budget, you're wondering what's going on. When you look at your keyword planner and you look at the keyword saturation, what you see is, wow, I'm already getting 99%, 98% of people who are searching for that word. So maybe it's time to not search and just utilize that word. Maybe I need to look at other words and put spend behind there, because there might be, as I go through keyword planner, I could be utilizing the word where I'm only getting 40% of the traffic. Well, then now you can make that decision. I need to put more of my spend there because I'm already reaching 99%. I was working with a business who does that. They're in the dog industry. And as they were looking through, we were talking about the fact that for their brand, their name, they're getting all the search. They've got great organic visibility, brand recognition. So they needed to look at other terms. Now, does that mean you don't do ads or in your own brand name? It just depends on your competition. Your competition could be using your brand name also in ads. So go to that keyword saturation, or the keyword planner is what it's called. You'll look at keyword planner and you'll look at your saturation, and now you can make some good business decisions.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Rochelle. Great question.
Okay, I'm just going to return Rochelle back to the audience. Give me one moment. Okay, and I would like to remind everyone that we will be sharing a recording of this Ask Me Anything session. So I see a couple questions about that coming in the chat and the QA. So rest assured, you will be getting a recording of all of this in case you missed something or you want to go over Maria Elena's great presentation again. And Maria Elena, I'm seeing a couple different kinds of questions regarding budget and how much, what kind, or if you could share some nuggets of wisdom about setting aside a certain amount of budget for your small business to get started, and like how to go about even establishing that budget for your Google Ads. Can you share with us a little bit about that?
Oh, absolutely. So for budget, that is a common question because it's hard to gauge what do you actually set. So I encourage businesses to start with $5 a day, especially small businesses. $5 a day translates to $150 a month. And you want to take a look then with $5, you can start putting some ads out. You can start becoming familiar with how to do smart campaigns, how to measure those smart campaigns, how to look for your keyword or look through your keyword planner, make those adjustments and look at the saturation. Now you can start playing and make good business decisions, and now putting more spend towards those ones that are working, those campaigns or that campaign that really is bringing in the success that you need. And I encourage you to start small. It is definitely a measure all the time, measure and adjust when you're working with Google Ads. And that is how you get the most results from them. And then once you start seeing the success in there, now you can start increasing the spend in there, especially if you're getting some good return. If I see a Google ad doing so well that, wow, you spent $1 and you made $100 with it, made that much conversion. Does it make sense if I spend $2, will I get 200? Is that, when do I get to the point of the law of diminishing return, right? And you can test that. Again, a lot of testing, but that's what I would encourage you to start with.
That's a great response. Thank you so much. And now we have invited Toko onto the stage. Toko, would you like to introduce yourself and ask your question?
Yeah, hi. My name is Toko. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yes, welcome.
Yes, welcome, Toku.
Thank you. Let me have my video on as well. Yeah, so my name is Toko. I am the founder of Wevu. It's an online Afrocentric casual apparel and accessories. And I'm really big on, just sharing the African culture with African Americans, just creating a connection that way. I've had a lot. I have my daughter here with me. I've had a lot of people just be like, Africans don't like us and vice versa. So there's obviously a mismatch somewhere, and I'm just hoping to do my part in bridging that gap while, helping people look great. So I asked two questions, which should I ask both? So the first question that I
Absolutely. Ask all your questions. Go ahead.
Yes, please.
Thank you. The first question that I had was, if I have the Google Ads account, like I try to be in the, I do a bit of research and I got confused because there was just so many Google stuff. So my question was, if I have the Google Ads account, I know you spoke about the analytics that you can get from it. Would I still need to connect it to Google My Business and the Google Analytics? Or is that automatically done? Or is that just different platforms?
No, actually, that's a great question, Toku. What I highly recommend, if you have all of those, to connect all of them together. The reason being is now you're getting a good full view picture of your customer or your prospect as they're looking for you, as they're going through that search journey. Remember when I said at the beginning about how important it is for you to understand your customer's journey and their decision journey within that. And this will help you do that. So all these tools working together, I actually always connect Google Analytics and then the business profile on Google Search and Maps to tell me exactly what's happening. Where are they coming from? What do they do next? How's my site doing? Because Google Analytics is telling you the health of your site. Google Ads is telling you the health of your ads and what's working. When the two are connected, if you see people coming in from your ads and then they leave, they're not doing anything on your site. Now you can see there might be a disconnect on the page that you're actually putting them on, that they're landing on when they click on that ad, or something you need to change in the content there. As you look and see what they do when they come in from that ad, it's also good to see their behavior flow, to see what do they do next. Do they go to the page that you sent them to? Then do they go to page 4? Then do they go to page 6? I liken that to if you had a physical store and you saw people every day come into aisle 1 and aisle 4 and they just take off. They don't do anything. But then all of a sudden they go from 1 to 3 to 4 and you see several customers with that trend of 1 to 3 to 4. You would want to know what was on aisle 3 that was encouraging that sale. That's the same thing that analytics does for you. The ads is getting the visibility and making sure you're in front of good prospects and bringing you good traffic to your site. But what happens when they get there? Now you've got a nice humming, well-oiled machine when everything's connected together.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
I can see that. So that was that one. Geez. Is there a way, because I've seen a lot of ads about this, but is there a way to avoid competitors clicking on my ads and just wasting that click?
Well, a lot of that too is just making sure that you're fine-tuned towards your specific customer. I mean, there is, if you've got somebody who's a super aggressive advertiser, that could be difficult to do with the resources. But a lot of times that happens only usually, I should say, with keywords that are pretty popular. So as you look at keywords, there are some keywords I know here in the state of Texas, for example, auto finance is a huge keyword that's so very popular. And then you might want to take a look at keywords where there's only about 10,000 to 20,000 people searching for those keywords. Not as popular, but still a lot of visibility. When you look in Google Trends, even Toku, look at some of those breakout trends that are happening, those breakout words, because those are what people are just now paying attention on, and you're basically fishing where the fish are. You're going to show up on their radar and something that matters to them, but it's not as popular yet where everybody is aggressively competing for that word. I know that's really, really hard sometimes to do, but those are the places where you can start to take a look. And to answer your question, I just remember the second part of your first question, which was, do you have to physically go in and connect everything? Yes, you do. So you do have to an analytics connect and say you want to connect it to Google Ads and make sure that those are well connected to be able to get those insights.
All right, great, thank you. And then my final question was, so when I haven't run one, I've started it, but I didn't go all the way. But when I do run an ad, where does it show up? Does it show up on every single one of Google's platforms? I am on, I show up on Maps, and I think I show up on the shop specifically for African clothing, just the free product listings, ads. But would I show up on YouTube, for example?
For YouTube, you would actually have to select that you want to show there. So you do have the opportunity to select where your ads show. You can select geographically. You can select whether you want it to be in search, which is exactly like you were talking about within search, or in YouTube, which would be display. So you'd want to show up there within a specific YouTube ad. So you would set up a YouTube ad for that. And that would work a little bit differently, but still you could follow along as you did the smart campaign and set that up to be able to choose YouTube to do that. But you would choose, Toko, to where exactly you wanted that ad to show. And what to me is exciting with the ads is that you can even utilize, like you were using, you mentioned, and I forgot to mention that, was Google Merchant Center. So Google Merchant Center, if you connect your site with that, you have the opportunity to show shopping and Google Shopping and images, and there's no cost to you doing that. And I highly encourage you to do that first. I'm always a believer of free first and then small fee next.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Those were all the questions that I had.
Those were excellent questions, Toku. Thank you.
Thank you so, so much.
That's good.
So next I'm going to invite TW to the stage. It's a great question about paid rankings for paid ads. TW, would you like to introduce yourself and ask your question?
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Mm-hmm.
And can you see me?
Yes.
I can't see you, but I can hear. Oh, I can see you now.
All right. How you doing, Danielle and Maria Elena? Thank you all for holding this. My name is Terrell. I am the founder of the 3BC Mob Directory and Marketplace. It is a global business directory and e-commerce platform to connect consumers to Black-owned businesses. So you can find and shop all Black everything, and we help Black-owned businesses get found and get paid. So I know you guys know within the last year, especially, there's been a huge upswing in focuses on racial equity and justice, and there's been a lot of support for Black-owned businesses. And I love everything that Hello Alice does to help direct resources our way as well. My question, Maria Elena, about Google is pretty much, how do you determine, because what's the scenario, or does it go back to search engine optimization basics, where let's say 5 different companies are trying to optimize for the same set of keywords, they're all paying their Google ads.
Sure.
What determines who ranks where, and as opposed to who else is putting their ads? Is it timing? Is it who has more money in the game, or just who's getting the most clicks and the search engine is making it seem like their content is more valuable to consumers?
So, great question, Terrell. And I appreciate you asking that, because it's all of those in play, a lot of that with the clicks, but I highly encourage for you to take a look at utilizing the Black-owned business attribute and making sure you're designating that, because that will make you stand out and more unique. And I don't know if you saw that also within your business profile and Google Search and Maps, that you can add that attribute, and you can even highlight that by using the free marketing kit that you associate with your business profile, which can be found at g.co/marketing kit. And you can go to both of those and really highlight what makes you unique. And that uniqueness then is, as somebody is searching in ads or looking around, and let's say they specifically want to work or designate that they'd like their search to come up with Black-owned businesses, now you'll show up. And that's better as far as what will actually match and be relevant to what somebody's searching. More than any of that, relevance is going to wave pretty high, just like it does in our organic search. It does as well as ads.
Okay, and I have that attribute
Good.
able right now. You know, I had to be on top of that, Maria Elena.
Yeah, you're on it. Oh, that's awesome.
I was going to say, so the fact that I have that attribute enabled, that will impact my paid search results as well.
Absolutely. All of that does. In fact, even posting. So I highly encourage you to post regularly on your business profile with Google Search and Maps. In fact, I'm not sure how familiar, if you have a posting strategy. Most people don't. Only 9% of businesses have a posting strategy on Google, the business profile on Google Search and Maps. Are you posting regularly there?
I am sorry to say I'm in the 91% that does not post regularly, and I need to, though. Tell me more about that.
Yes, absolutely. Let me give you a marketer's hint. The more you post regularly there, it does help you with your Google ads. It helps with your visibility. It shows the quality and credibility that you have, which is part of your prominence score, which is also a part of Google search. So you've got your relevance score and your prominence score. So I do encourage you to post regularly. You have in there the ability to post COVID-19 updates. I've seen people creatively do that, Terrell, like things like saying, this is what this is our highlight today. We have hand sanitizer available. We have this. So if you're doing that in a physical location, it is COVID-19 related to make sure you're being safe with following the pandemic safety measures, but you're still also showcasing your business. You have the ability to post, what's new. That's usually active about 5 days. So that's active and visible on search and maps. But then you also have the ability to put offers in. That's good and stays there till the offer actually expires. If you have an event, like let's say you were doing a webinar like today and you would have this event, or you're having a special event, a special shopping event at your location, then you could put that and it would stay active until that event actually comes up. You can also showcase your products or services if you're a service-based business that has your service as a product. All of that will help in that visibility, and that does help also with your ads because it shows that you're a viable business and a quality business that of course ads would like to get behind a little bit more and push out.
Okay, thank you very much for that.
You're very welcome. That's a great question.
And TW, if you will share your site in the chat, you are getting lots of love and people want to know more about you and what you're up to. So please share, anything that you can about your business, your social handles, how people can connect with you in the chat. Thank you so much for being here with us today and asking your great questions. And thank you, Maria Elena. Next,
I see that too, that a lot of people are interested in your information, TW, so please do. In fact, and then, the attribute that we're talking about, everybody, is identifies as Black owned. So that's what you're going to look for.
Thank you, TW. Thank you for being here today. I also have brought up Ashley to the stage. Ashley, would you like to unmute yourself and ask your question and tell us a little bit about your business?
Hi, my name is Ashley and I am from Cleveland, Ohio, and I have 2 businesses. One is a marketing and management company, and the other is a co-working space in downtown Cleveland. So my question is regarding the ability to advertise on Google, but without doing an ad that actually starts with the words ad. And the reason why I ask is because a lot of times when I'm searching something on Google, honestly, I skip and keep scrolling past the ad listings and I go to like the first available listing. So because I process it like that, I know a lot of other people may too. So I want to be able to advertise, but maybe come up in the first in the list without having ad associated with my listing.
I hear you, Ashley. And in fact, a lot of people, it's resonating for them. I see that in the chat too. So I do the same thing, but do know that we are people who take in all the information. So what you can do, because the ads will denote ad there, you'll see that in the text. You see the little green box. What you can do though, is you can still do an ad, but then do a lot of your organic work to make sure that you're organically showing up in those first 30 searches. We know that on average, most people don't look past the first 3 pages of an organic Google search. So every organic Google search returns 10 organic, or every page returns 10 organic search results. Plus then you have the Google shopping ads at the very top and the text ads, those search ads that come below it. So perhaps you're wanting to do more of a branding campaign than a search campaign. You could show up there's a text ad, but maybe you want to look at YouTube and do a branding campaign where you're actually showing now maybe your icon, maybe a photo, a happy customer, a satisfied customer, a great testimonial, and you can have that show up as a quick bumper ad or a 6-second ad in front of a YouTube ad. Again, just getting name recognition because you're building brand recognition. And what's also nice is you can use a true view ad, which means you only pay when somebody's actually watched through at least 15 to 30 seconds of the actual ad, but you still have the opportunity for that banner to show up on the right-hand side of YouTube as they go and search through YouTube. So there's a great way you can use the two of those to get the branding that you're looking for. Then the organic search is what's going to help you get that search results that you need. And you can learn from ads. What I like to do, and a strategy that a lot of people aren't aware of, is that you can push out things through Google Ads, find out what's really resonating and getting people to click on Google Ads, and now using those same words and terms in all your organic, because you're getting feedback that the visibility and the interest is there. Why don't you push it out organically in volumes to make sure not only do you show up in the first 30 searches, but you dominate those first 30 searches. So if the first 30 searches are, it's a blog post you did, you do your YouTube channel, your business profile on Google search, you did another blog post, a page of your website, if it's all about you, that's actually a good thing. It sets you up as an expert in your industry, and people, it elevates that value that you have. And it really is something that resonates as people are searching. That's what I would recommend to do. We can't get rid of the ad there, but you can do different things within displays and different types of ads to show up and to be able to be a good branding reminder, or even to give you some measurement to be able to make decisions on how you push out different organic terms.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome, Ashley. That's a great question. I love everybody's questions today.
Really some great questions. Next on stage, and I do just want to be mindful of time. We have about 10 minutes left. So if anyone has any more questions, please make sure to get them into the Q&A box. And if we're unable to answer your questions before time, please, we encourage you to share those questions in the BFA community on Hello Alice, and we will try to get to all of your questions, because we definitely don't want to leave you hanging. So just wanted to give you guys a notice that we have about 10 minutes left. And our next attendee is on stage to ask her question. Thank you for being here today. You want to introduce yourself and ask your question?
Yes, thank you. My name is Jatan Pai. I'm in Denver, Colorado. I see another business owner out there. I'll try to connect with you. I did want to ask a question. I am relatively new when it comes to a lot of the analytics, and it's really weird that, you know, my 24-year-old daughter knows a lot more than I do. So I probably could ask her, but I think I heard you say that there is a way that you can actually look and see what people are presently searching for as in regards to keywords or hot keywords that are being used minute by minute. And I'm wondering if I'm hearing that clear, how do you do that?
What great question, because that's and I touched on it. We talk about it actually a little bit more in the second session, but I want to make sure I cover this for you. And it's Google Trends. So you're going to go to g.co/trends. And what you'll do in Google Trends is now you can search by area or by a topic, let's say your industry. So you can look, let's say in Denver, if you want to look and see what people are talking about, and even around your industry. And you can use that to look at, see what the keywords are that people are searching right now. You can use the drop down and see what they've searched in the last 12 months, in the last month, in the last week, in the last 4 hours. You can get that specific. And I like to look at that to make sure that I'm relevant with what people are searching. I've seen people get really, really creative. And for example, we were working with a veterinarian in Corpus Christi. And in that day, the biggest search term that was breaking out was the cheapest veterinarian in Corpus Christi. That's what people were searching for. But what they found is they are not. So the company, the business was not the cheapest veterinarian. But what they did is in their YouTube video, on their site, in their blog posts, they said, and even in their social posts, they said, while we're not the cheapest veterinarian in Corpus Christi, you see how they're using those words? They said, we are the best because we provide this kind of loving care to your four-legged family member. So you can use it creatively that way for your organic as well as your ads, but it is in Google Trends. And I encourage people to look at Google Trends when they want to know their keywords for organic or for ads. And then even if you're wanting to refresh your content, if you're wondering what your competitors are doing, I'll put my competitors' names in there to see what people are searching for when they're looking at my competitors, and get some of those eyeballs to look my way and use some of those words that they're finding my competitors with. So that's another way to do that too. You can go through and even go all the way back and let's say to the beginning of time, I say when Google started in 2004, you can actually look and see what a cycle is, because if you have large sales cycles, let's say it takes 2 or 3 years for somebody to purchase your product, you can see the ebb and flow around that topic. And you can even get very close and see if in this last year, the seasonality or even the difference between 2020 and 2021.
Okay. All
But
right.
that
Thank
is,
you.
dive into Google Trends. It is one, to me, it's one of the unsung heroes of our Google tools that people don't use and really take out. I use it every single day. I save links. Usually I'll put competitors in even every one of the searches. So they're each column next to each other when you're looking at Google Trends. And I'll save that link and I'll come back to it every day to just see every morning, how are competitors, how are people looking for and finding competitors?
Okay. All right. Great.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay, and now we also have Chris on stage with us. Chris, would
Hey,
you like to
Chris.
unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yes, thank you. I have my static image up today. My computer is docked, so I apologize for that.
I
Good
understand.
question.
It's a great photo.
Oh, thank you, except it cuts off the top of my head, but anyway. The quick question is, through time, I think we've had, some click fraud. There was a question about half an hour ago, I think, that approached this topic. But is there, well, whether it's click fraud or not, or somebody just, they keep coming back to your website 3 or 4 times in a day, does Google consider multiple clicks over a set time period, like 24 hours or something like that, as one click, such that, you wouldn't have a competitor or somebody who would just be hammering away at your website and trying to exhaust your budget? How does that work? Is there like a 24-hour period where multiple clicks are considered as one click for a unique IP address? I heard rumors to that effect. I'd love to have somebody speak to that authoritatively.
Actually, it is that. So when you're looking at the IP level of where things are coming from, I mean, it works the same way with Google reviews. If you have a bunch of reviews coming in from one IP, then that's definitely, that could set off a flag. It's the same thing that happens with ads. So that is being watched and determined whether or not that's, a good viable click. And we're looking, of course, for the true and the organic click. So that is happening. And that's why I do like to utilize Google Ads, especially smart campaigns, to get a good feel for the market before I step my toe in and decide, what am I going to do as far as ads that I actually create when I take it to expert mode. And now I start putting the ads in that are not just what is provided through smart campaigns, but now where I'm getting specific. I'm choosing the extensions. I'm choosing all of that. So I do look at all of that. Does that answer your question?
Frame? Yeah, well, yes, no, that's great. And then what is the time frame over which multiple clicks are considered as one click?
That I'm not sure, Chris, so I'll have to double check on that. And we can definitely connect on Hello Alice. Right now I have the introduce me off just because I wanted to be able to save questions for here, but I'll turn it back on because I have been on Hello Alice since 2019. So I can double check that for you. I don't want to guess. I would rather just make sure and then be able to pull a source for you too.
Well, I would greatly appreciate that because you can ask any 10 people out there and you might get 20 different answers. So having one valid answer would be greatly appreciated. So thank you.
Absolutely. So do make sure you look for me. I'll turn that back on after today's event so you can reach out to me.
Awesome. Thank you.
Or ask in the collaborate too, the collaborate post. Sorry, I forgot about that, Danielle. Ask there because I'm checking both places.
Okay, great.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. And thank you, Maria Elena. And that's another great point I want to bring up, that if we're unable to answer your question today, as we are almost at time, please, we encourage you to ask your question in the BFA community. Maria Elena would be so gracious to continue to answer your questions after the webinar. And our team at Hello Alice will do our best to answer your questions as well and connect with you. And before we start wrapping up, I am seeing this question in the Q&A, and I think it could be helpful to a lot of our attendees about what is the best way to do retargeting for Google Ads? If you could share a little bit about retargeting, Maria Elena, before we have to wrap.
Sure. So with retargeting, what that means is you are targeting people who have come to your website. That's why also tying together Google Ads and Google Analytics is powerful because you have the measurement of who came to your website, where they visited on your website, and what they did on your website. And now that same information is available to Google Ads. And you can retarget choosing, I want people who just came to my site and left. I want to retarget people who added things to my cart and then just left and they didn't actually check out. So they abandoned the cart. You can decide, oh, I want to be able to target people who are even customers. So you can upload customer lists and look, either do a lookalike audience or actually look to those customers to remind them, because maybe it's customers or people even on your email list who may be getting email from you, but this is a good reminder in another location. Again, whenever we can see your name several different times, that helps elevate your visibility with us. You're inundated, I think, with a little over 12,000 messages in any given day. So to be able to stand out, sometimes it does take that repetition. You know, I even, when I'm talking to people, it takes several times sometimes before when somebody says, for me to remember and recall, hey, that's right, you asked about this, you needed this. So I do understand that as well with ads. And that is how you can retarget effectively, by utilizing already lists or information that you know is valid information. There's a lot of data out there, and you can use analytics to look at the trends to provide some insights to you to now make some good decisions on who you should target. And that some of your retargeting ads will be some of the most powerful performing ads that you have, because this is your unique real data.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Maria Elena. You have been absolutely terrific. It has been my honor to host this today with you and with Betsy and Brittany and all of you guys and our growing community of small business owners. We are just about out of time, but I wanted to share a couple more things. I've just now in the chat shared 2 different links for you guys. One is to the week 3 survey of our Reach Customers online sprint. If you could please participate and fill out that survey for us if you're on today with us, and also the survey for our entire sprint. We'll also be sharing this in follow-up communications, but if you wanted to get started on that today, that would be wonderful. If you need, we encourage you to be open and honest with us in this survey. It's how we can be better serve you and know what to share with our partners at Grow with Google so that we can better serve you and get you the resources and help that you need. And we will also be sharing the recording of this webinar today with all of you. So make sure that you check any emails that come from Hello Alice and engage in that Business for All community. And of course, on social media with us. If you'd like to reach out to me directly, you can go to the top of the chat and my email is there. You can also connect with Maria Elena, who is on Hello Alice, and you can also connect with her through the BFA community. So thank you so much, Maria Elena and Betsy and Brittany and all of you guys for being here today.
Thank you.
All right, guys, have an amazing Friday, a beautiful weekend. And again, thank you for being here. Bye, guys.